with Ciao, Testa going... no, he's not going first, excuse me.
He's going second there.
Yep.
Zenari actually playing the expected play.
He's going with Burning Abyss.
Yep, which is a graph and...
Yeah, he's got a tour guide.
Tour guide bringing out Dante.
Yeah.
Milling 3, which is interesting. So he's going to be able to get a special summon.
Yeah, that's some good hits for him.
It is. He's going to be getting a special summon off Seer, off of Graph, and I do believe what's the third one there? Is that the cow cab?
New ones, yes. Yeah. So we got that on the...
It's that one there, yeah.
Yeah. So one of the recent additions to the deck.
It's very, very good. It does, obviously, there's no sort of help for him right now, but it is very good. Now he's now got a...
This is his hand.
Scum out with his Graph, and the Seer that hit the graveyard has brought the Graph back out.
And this is one of the most the strongest plays for Burning Abyss, just starting on the very first turn, assembling such a big field. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a second Dante here.
Yeah, it would be a play that he could make. He's not actually, well, he can still special summon, so I believe he's going for, is that a Rubik that he just played, or was that the... Yes, he's just played the Rubik, so he is actually going for a Virgil. Oh,
right. So he's assembling the whole ensemble with this new addition to the deck, which is also very, very strong.
Yeah, it's incredibly good. It's
one of the reasons why Burning Abyss is by many considered to be the strongest deck at the moment.
Yep.
So
here we can now using Calcab's effect to special summon him, allowing him to bring out another Dante.
Yeah.
Just walling himself up there.
Amazing opening for him. Here is the Virgil, the rock star of the Burning Abyss.
So 2 Dantes and a Virgil, you can't really sniff at that.
Yep, and let's take a look at Chio's opening hand. He's got a Card-Cardi, a Wabuku, Hope for Escape, Trap of Darkness, and another copy of Card-Cardi. So he's going to be able to buy some time with Wabuku. And the Card-Cardi, of course, is going to allow him to draw into some more options. Unfortunately for him, unlike the Clifford archetype, Burning Abyss doesn't really burn through its own life points too much, does it?
No. And currently there, with both of those, Andrea has 7,500 attack points on the field. So the Wabuku comes down, the Card-Cardi effect happens, ending his turn but allowing him to get 2 more cards. Now, Wabuku is going to buy him some time there, which is nice.
It's good for him, but is he able to deal that much damage? I mean, the Burning Abyss is just, it's not going to stop. It just continues to assemble a field here and special summon even more monsters. So this is Andrea's hand.
Now, Calcab is sat underneath that Dante, meaning that it's probably going to try and return the Wabuku back. And instead...
It's going to be activated in response.
Yeah, it's going to be chained.
Yeah. No surprise there. So this is the new hand of Ciao. After drawing 2 cards of that all-important Card-Cardi, he now has got a Hope for Escape again, a second copy, and a second copy of Trap of Darkness. That's not exactly good news now, is it?
Yeah. Hope for Escape would have been great if he would have been able to actually set off.
Yeah, but...
anything there. Now...
He cannot really activate that. Like, he could activate it during his opponent's turn after Andrea dealt a lot of damage, but he's not going to see another turn to activate it. Now,
he has
however,
got a threatening roar there, meaning that he will possibly see another turn. Now,
he can draw a lot of cards for Hope for Escape now. If he first takes some damage from the attacks. Yeah, there we go.
And there it is.
This is looking like a chain burn deck, but it's quite the opposite. Another Card-Cardi. This looks quite like the perfect setup for Ciao.
Yeah, he's actually...
The only question is it too late?
What's he drawn into there?
All right, so Andrea, on the other hand, has also a very big hand now with 5 cards and so many options.
It doesn't actually... Vanity Tempest and Dark Hole isn't really helping with this. And Virgil, I believe, sending a Hope for Escape back to the deck there.
Well, Ciao is definitely... I mean, he would have liked the threatening roar a little bit. Well, no, he doesn't want that. He first wants to get attacked a little bit.
Yeah.
To take some damage. So, we're going to see some attacks in just a second.
Yep, and Gio has a massive field there.
So many back row cards.
And there he just drew into his life equalizer, Trap of Darkness, the hope for escape.
Yeah, so this is the signature card of his deck, at least according to him, the life equalizer. And another card that we can't show you, unfortunately. But we got the card text for you, of course.
Oh, now an Ala card is coming down to try and get rid of some of those back row cards. May force the use of that threatening roar before it's of any use. And there it is, and it's going to have to force that use.
Yeah, he needs to see another turn, so he doesn't really have any chance, any option here. He needs to activate it. And Burning Abyss just keeps removing back row cards. It's not exactly good news for Ciao now, is it?
No.
The Life Equalizer, the card we mentioned before, you can only activate it when the difference between both players' life points is 8,000 or more, something that you can easily do in this deck. And then both players' life points become 3,000. And then after you've accomplished that, you use some more burn effects to deal the last 3,000 damage to your opponent, and this is how you win.
Now, Pot of Duality...
Another
Andrea having to have a look at what a bad reaction to Samochi does.
Yeah. So he does have access to another threatening roar, which could be very good news for him. At least he's going to see yet another turn. And yeah, the bad reaction, another important card for his deck. Right, and Andrea's looking through his graveyard, which is already quite full.
Huge.
Yeah, so many effects triggering with the Burning Abyss getting sent to the graveyard turn after turn. And so Ciao has made a decision. It looks a little like Picaro's Circle, but it's not.
I believe that's gift card.
You think that's the gift card? Yeah, it is the gift card. This is okay.
Again. He's playing such old cards that we just don't have the images for them.
Yeah, our system is featuring most of the newer cards, but apparently we're missing some of the older ones.
He's just set up another formidable field.
Yeah, but how good is that? Like with Andrea being able to shut down so many cards of his opponent, with both Alucard and Virgil. All those destructive effects. And Andrea's really looking to... He's trying to hit the threatening roar, I guess.
Although he didn't get the threatening roar there.
Nope. And what's Andrea's next play here? I mean, does he just continue to poke until his opponent will run out of options?
Pretty much with a field like that.
Yeah, so he discards a graph to trigger the effect of Virgil again. Here he is again. So in case you're not familiar with this card, you can see easily, that's a Synchro monster of course, can only control one of those, but one is usually enough. Once per turn you can discard a Burning Abyss card, so it doesn't even have to be a monster, but most of the time you're going to go with a monster because they trigger when they are sent to the graveyard. Target one card your opponent controls or in their graveyard and shuffle it back into the deck.
Now he also discarded a Calcab there, meaning that he was able to return another Spell or Trap card to the hand there.
Right.
So it's not looking great for Gio at the moment.
Yeah, like the advantage of cards on the field and in the hand for Andrea is overwhelming. And is there anything that Ciao can draw into here that will make a difference? With this
right now?
With the setup?
Raigeki would be useful, but you've still got then 2 Dante effects and a Virgil effect that will activate.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like...
So there's 1 attack.
Yeah, and Gio is gonna... You might be surprised, since he does have that... Oh no, he no longer has the threatening roar.
No, he has 2 traps of darkness down.
So is that... is game?
Not
No.
quite.
Oh, the Dante couldn't
Dantes
use
don't
their
actually
effects.
have...
Oh, okay, so the Dante is not attacking for 2,500 like it usually does. Just attacking for 1,000.
And there's the trap of darkness.
Yep. Another old card. Yeah, some of you might still remember those cards. Trap of Darkness as well. Can only activate it by paying 1,000 life points when you're on 3,000 or less, which is the case. And then you can select a normal trap card in your graveyard, and this card's effect becomes the same as that trap card's.
So he's making it into a Wabaku there.
Yeah, so he's no longer he's not taking any more damage. And with another Trap of Darkness face down, but he doesn't have another Wabuku, but he can copy the Threatening Roar, of course.
Yep.
So he will see another turn, I guess, after his next turn, which is all good news for him. But is there anything that gets him out of this situation, out of this lock? I want to say.
It's very interesting. I mean, down position just hit the field as well, which is just another big monster, another big threat.
Yeah. I mean, does feel Andrea like he's under a lot of pressure here? Does he want to wrap things up? Normally, the Refuel deck can assemble quite a strong combo and burn through a lot of life points out of nowhere. But 8,000 in one turn with 3 cards in hand? Doesn't sound like it, no, does it?
There is ways of doing it. Oh, and
Yeah,
there's a lava golem. Nice.
Lava golem is definitely going to hit play here with a Threatening Roar in the graveyard and the Trap of Darkness that allows him to activate that Threatening Roar. Yeah, but what else is there? Got the Hope for Escape, Life Equalizer, and a gift card. So here is the Lava Golem, and you can see Chio is hoping that it will resolve, and it does. And of course, still the effects of Dante that was sent to the graveyard and Virgil are triggering.
Yep.
So
Anti-bottomless trap hold it.
Okay, well, more cards for Andrea and no disadvantage, no, is there?
Nope. This actually just allows him to, well, make a whole new Dante.
Yeah,
Pretty
he
much.
certainly won't mind that. Then again, I don't think he even needs it. He just needs to connect with one more attack and he's done. With the first game at least. Which brings us to the side decking options of these guys.
A lot of the side deck is essentially just more burn for Gio.
In Gio's case, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of it is essentially just more options for burn. I mean, there's a Raigeki is actually in his side deck.
He's got an Ojama Trio and Just Desserts. That's a strong combo in traditional burn decks. And with Just Desserts being able to lock your opponent out of making all those crazy Exceed summon plays, that's definitely something to look forward to for him.
Okay, and there goes the gift card.
So the gift card we also don't have, but no problem there. We got
And a hope for escape. I believe that is.
Gain 3,000 for your opponent is the gift card.
Oh wow, he's just paid 1,000 just to draw a lot. Oh, wow.
So Andrea went up to 11,000 life points, and you might be wondering why is Chio doing that? But the answer is, of course, the life equalizer that he has face down. That says if there's such a big difference in the life points of both players,
They both becomes 3,000.
Yeah, both have 3,000 life points left. And this is what he's aiming for here. So he only has to burn through 3,000 life points after that resolved.
And he still has the Trap of Darkness, meaning that he can life equalize and then Trap of Darkness just to stop any sort of attacks coming through as well.
Exactly. So he's got to see another turn. And then what he needed would be another gift card and a bad reaction to Simochi, for example.
That would be it, yeah.
that would even be game. So we shouldn't count Ciao out just yet. But how much help does he need here? He just needs to draw into 2 cards, right?
Okay, he's life equalized. And both are now on 3,000.
So the last card that he has is the Trap of Darkness. And this allows him to copy the effect of a trap card in his graveyard, which is probably going to be the Threatening Roar.
Yeah. Either that or the Waboku.
The Waboku has already been
yes,
banished.
Of course, he already has the Threatening Roar.
You can only do that once. Trap of Darkness is not like an infinite loop or anything like that. You can only... you have to banish the card that you're copying, so you only get to copy it once, at least most of the time. Unless you find a way to return them to the graveyard, but I can't really think of anything.
No.
Except for... Oh no, this just works on monsters, different dimension.
You get the feeling that Andrea is just wondering where this is going.
Yeah. Andrea's like, I got this game. You're on 700 life points, or you were on 700, now you're on 3,000 again. Why is this game not over yet?
And he's going to attempt to attack, I believe. Oh, and that's a Swift
Scarecrow. Oh yes, Ciao
Wow.
did draw into lots of cards in case you were... I think we didn't even tell you guys. With the Hope for Escape, there was so much difference between the life points between both players that Ciao was able to draw into a completely fresh hand with the bad reaction. He does have another Waboku. He does have a Try and Guess, which is gonna...
Would be game if he was able to get it off with the...
bad reaction.
Bad reaction.
Yes. So
and
let's...
which he can do with the Trap of Darkness.
Right, we explained this initially, right? That Ciao does have an extra deck with, you said 15 warriors?
No, it's 14 fusion monsters and 1 Xe.
All right.
So basically all he needs to turn around and say Xyz monsters, and he's essentially won this.
Yeah, that would mean that the player who has more cards of the declared card type gains 3,000 life points. So
this is his win condition. It's to try and guess with this bad reaction Moshi after a like Equalizer.
Yeah, and the thing is he can also use it on himself.
Yes.
To gain 3,000 if he has to, which is not his preferred way of playing, but...
Well, that's one of the reasons why he's got so many fusion cards as well.
Yeah. So he can either gain life points himself or, together with a bad reaction to Stimochi or the Nurse Reficule, he can deal 3,000 damage. And this is what we might be seeing if Andrea doesn't find a way to stop this. He's got a Fire Lake of the Burning Abyss, and this should prove crucial now, shouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, if he was able to get it off right now, which unfortunately he can't because it's in his hand.
No, but it's still his turn. He just attacked and it was the Swift Scarecrow that came down.
But it's still in his hand and it's his turn. He can set it right now, but he's still going to be able to get off that.
Yeah, but Ciao, of course, needs to set his cards first before he can activate them.
Yeah.
So if Andrea makes the right read and does go for the Fire Lake of the Burning Abyss, he can destroy the back row and hopefully hit the right targets for Ciao.
He's playing a Dark Hole.
That's interesting to say the least.
I believe he's trying to get the Dante effect off.
Yeah. Normally you don't play Dark Hole for -4 cards.
No. Oh, and he chained his Vanity's Emptiness to get rid of that also.
So maybe he is expecting something like a Secret Barrel.
Yeah, he's expecting Secret Barrel.
So he wants to get rid of
field.
as many of his own cards as possible. And with the Burning Abyss effects triggering, he does get back some sort of field. And
he's special summoned those 2 there, so he's ready for this Fire Lake.
So he can still activate the Fire Lake. That might be... Well, it wasn't the right play. If he would have known that his opponent doesn't have something like...
It's a safe play.
Yeah, it's a safe. It's the safest approach, I guess. So here we see a Pot of Duality for Ciao with targets an Upstart Goblin, which is not bad with a bad reaction to Simochi, but he can't activate it the same turn because he can't flip the bad reaction this turn. And he's got another Pot of Duality. He's not going to pick that, I think. And a card D to draw even more cards. And again, his hand, as you can see on the right-hand side with the Waboku,
He does actually already have bad reactions emoji in his hand.
Yes. And
So
he's got 2 copies of try and guess, so he just can attempt to go for it once. Then his opponent
is going to get rid of 3 of those cards.
KKD comes down. Now he's gonna. I think he's gonna set the rest of his hand.
If he doesn't, he's going to have a big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not
there he
that
is.
surprising. So he's gonna activate the KKD, and the big question now is there gonna be a Fire Lake of the Burning Abyss?
If there is a Fire Lake, does he hit the try and guess and the
Bad reaction.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do.
He does activate the Fire Lake. So this is it. This is crunch time for Andrea Zenari.
He's got a case of, what's it going to be? Oh, dear. What's he hit?
It's the card card.
And the bad reaction. But that means that he can now do it. He's just essentially won the game. He's got the Trap of Darkness. He's got the... although Trap of Darkness, would that work?
No.
Because it has to be a normal trap card.
Exactly. It's just...
Of course.
It's just... yeah. It just copies the effect like for one time. It doesn't work like the...
Yeah, you will be able to
stay on
change
the
that,
feed.
but it has to be a normal trap card.
So,
it says that
good
on the card.
hits by Andrea. Great read. Although I'm not sure about the card KD, but maybe he just wants to deny his opponent more draws, and he wasn't expecting him to already have the combo assembled. So,
So what do we got face down still? We've
so
got Trap of Darkness, 2 Try and Guess. Well, Try and Guess is going to be able to get him
yeah,
get Gio
Chio
plus
can
3,000.
exactly. If Chio needs to, he can just get more life points and make sure he's gonna hang in there.
Scum, of course, he's just signaling there. Scum is going to be destroyed. Actually, Andrea has very little cards left in his deck.
Yeah,
I've just
that's
noticed.
True. Maybe that's his alternative win condition, to make his opponent simply run out of options.
Well, at the moment, Gio can increase his life points by 6,000 this turn.
Yeah.
If he so chooses.
But Andrea only has 1 more Dante, I think. He's playing 3 in his extra deck, isn't he? Yeah.
I believe he's also played all 3. Let's just have a look in there.
I'm definitely certain he's run through 2 of them. I'm not sure if he went through all 3 of them.
I can't see one there.
That is definitely bad news for Andrea.
Oh, no, there it is.
There's the 3rd one. Okay, there we go. So,
Okay.
will Chio actually do something to prevent the attack? Does he? I don't think he wants to fall down to 500, does he?
Not really, no.
But then again, he's going to lose his Trap of Darkness, which he could otherwise...
He could just Trap a Darkness for Wabaku. Or, yeah, because Wabaku's right there in his graveyard.
Yeah, but why do it this turn, when your opponent cannot finish you off?
Because if you're stuck on 500, you can't pay that 1,000 for the Trap of Darkness.
Oh, it does have an activation cost.
Yeah, of 1,000
yes,
life points.
So, okay. In that case, that's a pretty easy answer. But that Fire Lake, so important. Like, without the Fire Lake...
I believe he just milled 2. So, and he's attacking. Is he going to let it go through?
I can't imagine. He's letting it through.
Wow.
Did he mill 1 or 2? He's down to 1,000.
Yes, because he didn't do he only did 2. So that's 1,000 life points.
Well, Chio could activate the Try and Guess, get up to 3,000, and then copy an effect again.
Coming down. I think he's kind of hoping for a bad reaction.
That's an Upstart Goblin. That's really bad, because the Upstart Goblin puts Andrea out of the reach of that Try and Guess.
There is 2 Try and Guess.
Yes, if he would find the bad reaction or the Nurse Refuel. So in case you're wondering...
unfortunately a Karma cut.
Exactly, I was about to say that. There's a Karma cut still face down in Andrea's back row.
Is he bold?
That was another spell card. I think that's still the Upstart Goblin.
That was the monster.
Oh, was it a monster?
Yeah, I believe that was the Nurse, but we'll see.
Swift Scarecrow is the card that Chio drew into. So now
he is going for the
first Try and Guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course Andrea has to read the card. Nobody knows that card.
Yeah.
And Chio will simply go up to 4,000 life points in this case. So like, this is my royal flush here. Take a look.
These are all fusion monsters. This is happening.
And nobody has that many fusion monsters. Even
No.
a dedicated deck that wants to go for fusion summons mostly runs at least a few Exceed monsters.
Although, as you were saying earlier, you'd like to see Gladiator Beasts. Well, he is running Gladiator Beasts. He can't summon them. But they're in there. There's a little tribute.
Alright, so Andrea should be up on 4,000 life points. Chio should be up on 4,000. There you have it. Andrea just drew into, I think, an Allure of Darkness with a Foolish Burial.
Okay, he's just used Down of Magician's ability to drop that Ante into the graveyard, bringing out a Seer.
Yeah, so he returns it to his hand. The Karma card is also going to be playing a major role in this game, I think.
Yeah.
If something like the Nurse Reficule comes down, then Karma card is going to be activated in response to the effect that would otherwise gain Chio's.
Okay, he just letting go, and that's a Lava Golem. Although Geo's doing quite well, actually, at the moment. Andrea doesn't have many options. There's another Karma Cut there. He's going to try and attack the Scarecrow. Drops the effect on Graph.
So,
he's going to look through his deck there, but I don't believe that there is any Burning Abyss monsters left.
Yeah, he's down to what, like 5 deck cards or 10?
Yep, 5 cards.
5 cards only. Wow. And Chio is able to still buy himself yet another turn with that Trap of Darkness, and he still won 1,500. He did draw into another trap card and immediately set it.
That was Hope for Escape.
Okay, so he's
here
gonna
comes the 1,000 Trap of Darkness. Pay 1,000 for Wabaku.
Yep. And he's also able to draw some more cards with Hope for Escape. Just one more card, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, one more card. So, not great.
Although, doesn't Hope for Escape mean that you have to pay 1,000 life points?
Yes, you also have to pay 1,000
So
life
Hope
points.
for Escape's not going to help. Although, there's another Upstart Goblin. Let's see if we get the bad reaction.
So, Andrea now on 3,000 life points. Sorry, 6,000 life points. And Gio desperately looking for something. Is that... That was 1 day of peace.
Wow.
Wow. You have to have a lot of patience going up against that deck.
1 day
that
of
comes
peace just says
stacked,
nothing is happening.
Stacked with cards that prevent your opponent from attacking. And this is a wall of Revealing Light that Gio just drew into. And I don't think this should be game. Yeah, and no, it's not game, of course, because the Try and Guess can still be activated, and will mean that Chio's going to go up on 3,500 life points.
Yep.
So he's hanging in there, but
I believe he is looking for the deck out. I think that is actually Andrea's last card.
wow. That would be something if this deck wins with deck out. Yeah,
yeah,
because I didn't see that coming. With so many ways to deal damage and, well, gain damage.
And there goes
There's a Virgil, another copy. And that would...
And Swift Scarecrow
another
again.
Swift Scarecrow, right. So, and now...
and there's a Lava Golem sat right there in his hand.
Yeah, so the Lava Golem gets rid of Andrea's field. And with...
There's reckless greed.
With 3,500 life
It's
points.
unfortunate at the moment.
Yeah, but he does have another Try and Guess, so he's gonna see another turn.
Yes, he is. And that was
Andrea
the last card.
So
wow.
Andrea has to finish him now with 3,500 to go for Chio. Can Andrea deal 3,500 damage in one turn with
He's
just
taken the 3,000.
with just a Lava Golem on the field?
There's nothing
And
he
his
can do
hand
here.
is completely dead.
That's it.
All of those cards.
None of those cards are going to help.
Exactly. They are either drawing him more cards or he's going to be able to destroy an opposing card. But what good does it do to destroy an opposing card when there's no way for you to deal any more damage?
To go from what we thought was a bad start,
turn.
that was wow.
Deck out win. Wow, fantastic, fantastic. Testa going with a Reficule or life equalizer and just finishes the game with a deck out win. That's just huge.
Amazing.
I've never seen something like that. Wow.
I mean, the last time I saw that was in Europeans, and that was just because somebody was trying to do it to be cheeky, and then they suddenly got an out, but there was no out. Gio just... Wow. Just...
I think that's definitely my highlight of the day.
Yes.
This is very, very hard to top. I mean, I've seen a lot on this stream, but this is something new.
Now, he does look like they're both trying to side deck. There goes the Karma Cut, there goes the Vanity's Emptiness, there goes the anything to do with monsters. Unfortunately, Andrea doesn't realise that Nurse Reficule is a thing, basically. So, okay, and Fairy Wind has gone into the deck. Very powerful card against this deck.
Yes.
But Fairy Wind also burns his own life points as well as his opponent's.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to do that. Then again, he wants to keep the gap between the life points of both players below 8,000. So the life equalizer cannot be activated. Because without the life equalizer, I don't think that Ciao has a way to burn through 8,000 life points of his opponent, does he?
What's really interesting is the fact that there isn't really that many face-up spell and trap cards that Gio uses. He only actually uses bad reaction to Samochi. That is the only one that would stay face-up on the field. Apart from the Wall of Revealing Light.
Right. Alright, do we have anything else? I mean, the extra deck of Gio looks huge, but he's not going to summon any of those monsters.
Nope.
And I still can't get over that.
No.
It's still like I'm sitting here in
like
shock.
Us both sitting there saying, yeah, Gio's not doing very... Oh.
And it looked to me like Gio was aware of that way of winning. He definitely could identify that sort of plays that would get him or get his opponent to the deck out, and just biding himself more and more time.
Okay, so they've just started playing, and
there we go. We are still waiting for the cards to appear on our app. It's just going to take another second.
And Rubik that have been special summoned there for a Dante. Dante is milling 3, mills a Seer, a Tour Guide, and a Mystical Space Typhoon.
This is a very standard opening.
Yeah, and Graf is going to special summon more than likely a Skarm.
Yeah, run us through
Seer
the whole thing.
also then hit the graveyard. I'm assuming that if that was a Seer actually, because as I say, I'm looking at it from a screen. Should be able to special summon the Graf, whether he remembers that or not.
So this time, Andrea, out of cards in his hand. His whole hand is face down on the field.
And here comes the Nurse
Reficule. Immediately, he needs to read it. Not that surprising. But he's got that all-important Fire Leg of the Burning Abyss that we have seen in the first game.
So he...
Andrea has a way of stopping his opponent.
It felt like Gio was forcing that, just to see what was back there.
Yeah. And
just setting 2.
There was a Solemn Warning activated, so Andrea is down to 6,000.
And Fire Lake gets rid of everything.
Everything, yeah. Fire Lake wiping the whole field, and while Gio is losing, this is not his hand anymore. He said half of these cards.
So he's lost the Reckless Greed and the bad reaction to Samochi.
Yeah.
You could see there exactly what he was planning with the Upstart Goblin, the gift card there. Although he does still have another Nurse Reficule in there.
Yeah, so he can deal 1,000 with the Upstart Goblin, and the gift card would be another 3,000. That means 4,000 burn damage in his hand at this point in time.
Gio does have a face-down Karma Cut though, and with this could be very, very bad, because that's going to turn into a Dante. Seer will go to the graveyard, special summoning more than likely.
Right. Andrea also drew into
there.
a Kaios. Kaios is coming from the side deck.
Special summoning Dante.
Yeah, Kaios is a card that we have seen in Madrid, making some waves there in quite a few of our feature matches.
He's just attacked there for 3,500.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see another deck out.
No, not this time.
Not this time, no. And
Nurse
there is
Reficule
the
comes out.
Nurse Reficule, and we don't know what Chio drew into. He's going to draw yet another card with Upstart Goblin. This would have resulted in Andrea losing 1,000 life points rather than gaining 1,000 because of the Nurse Reficule. However, the timely Karma card makes sure that this plan isn't working.
Okay, Pot Duality, Upstart Goblin, and Swift Scarecrow. Swift Scarecrow would be a good choice at this point. It depends whether he wants to take the risk. No, he's definitely just taking the Swift Scarecrow.
And the rest of the field has just been it has just been announced that the timeout has been called for the rest of the tournament. Not for our match, because I don't think we started right on time with the rest of the field. So these guys might have a little bit more time, but you can tell that time is running out after that first game taking so long.
Removing from play the... What is that there?
That was either the Reckless Greed or the gift card.
Looks like the gift card, and he's chaining the gift card.
Yeah. So Chio is gaining 3,000 life points. Let's see. All right, so Kaios came down, still 2 Dantes on the field. Ferryman in hand for Andrea Zenari. No longer in hand, he just said that. And yeah, I think this is Zenari. He does have this one in the bag.
Not necessarily. There is still that Swift Scarecrow in hand.
Oh, right. So Chio is going to see another turn.
I think Gio is just waiting with the Reckless Greed there, just to check and see what happens.
And with the life gap between both players now being 8,900, he could activate his life equalizer again. He still needs a life equalizer.
Here comes an Upstart Goblin.
A bad reaction. Or a Nurse Reficule. I think he doesn't have a... Oh, he might have introduced a third copy of the Nurse Reficule from his side deck. And he goes searching.
Ceasefire, bad reaction to Smochi. And he's taking the bad reaction.
The bad reaction. So he's got a Ochama trio in his hand.
Now, unfortunately, there is a Fairy Wind down there, face down for Andrea.
Now he goes searching with Reckless Greed, drawing 2 more cards.
Drawing into a
life equalizer?
With Scarecrow.
Swift. Okay. Yeah, and he doesn't have what he needs. So that is a 1-1. And immediately you can tell Andrea Zenari immediately asking the judge how much time is left in the round, because these guys, of course, also heard the signal that told the rest of the field that yes, this is indeed time on the round.
Yes. He did have an interesting play. I mean, if he would have flipped the bad reaction to Smochi, waited for the Fairy Wind to be chained, and then chained the 2 gift cards, he still would have been able to get quite a lot of damage off of Andrea, but...
It wouldn't have been enough.
Wouldn't have been enough.
Yeah. But...
Although he did also have a Swift Scarecrow in hand.
Going into the timeout should heavily favor the burn player, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, every card in his deck is suddenly live.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he just needs to deal some damage, where... Andrea, on the other end, I mean, he just needs to attack, but with so many cards stopping him from doing exactly that with Wabuku and the threatening roar that we've seen, well, maybe even a Wall of Revealing Light, although I don't think this is... The card stayed in the main deck against... Well, he's looking... checking the time in the round, I guess, on his phone, if he stopped that. And... yeah, they weren't wasting any time because they want to play the last game and not have a forced decision.
Now, Gio has a better turn 1 than Andrea. You don't really want to have to set up and then not be able to
did draw into a Wabuku, and he's got another copy if he wants to, or a Swift Scarecrow, or just Desserts. So he's going to be able to deal some damage. With 2 copies of...
Quite a lot. He's got 1 day apiece.
Yeah. And
Lava Golem.
So he can buy himself 2 turns with 1 day of peace and Wabuku, and there are few ways for Andrea to stop him, and he just needs to deal some damage and make sure he doesn't be dealt any damage, and then he's going to win this game. So if we're at the timeout.
1 day apiece, drawing into a Ceasefire.
Wow, so much burn. This is like a straight burn deck at this point in time. So
Okay, he's dropped one card.
and
Goes down.
this is Andrea's hand, in case you're wondering.
It looks like it was the reckless greed. He's dropped.
Yeah, and
Oh,
now
and time has
now
been
you can
called.
tell that time has been called, and immediately we will have a die to signal how many turns are left.
With Gio, this is very, very good for him. He's got a lot of cards to stop him taking damage and to just do little chips away. I think that's probably one of the reasons why he's being so conservative with what he's putting down.
Yep. So what did he put down? What do you think?
He would have put down the reckless greed.
Oh, okay, so he just wants to draw more cards, of course.
He wants to draw more cards that are going to stop him taking damage.
Right. So Andrea, on the other hand, just used the tour guide on the graph, the #1 target for tour guide.
Yep, and then Graf goes to the graveyard.
There's a Dante hitting play, special something.
Gone.
Yeah, this reminds me a little bit of spell books, when you were always like, spell
Though
book
he
of
has just
secrets.
dropped a Scam.
Oh, so he cannot
So
use
he
the
can go
effect.
for, no, he can go for something different though.
Yep. So he's forced to play a little bit differently,
And there's a Rubik.
but this means, I mean, he does have 2 monsters, so Lava Golem of Chio might be live now.
Yep, it is.
And the big question is, does have Andrea anything to interact with the opponent's face-down cards? I think the Fire Lake of the Burning Abyss is gonna prove crucial once again.
Yep. It may be unfortunate though, as soon as if that reckless greed goes off the field and there's no longer any targets of Fire Lake, then it's going to be upsetting because Lava Golem will come down. There's the reckless greed.
All right.
Made sure he did that. He changed it, I believe, due to the fact that Virgil hit the field.
Yep. Very, very interesting match indeed. With a deck out in the first game.
Yep.
Second game, Chio didn't really find anything to
So let's
prevent
look at
him.
Gio's hand there.
Yeah, so he's got plenty of ways to make sure that the difference between life points are huge. With a ceasefire would be dealing 1,500 at the moment. Just Desserts would be dealing 1,500 damage.
And I do believe that this is the third turn that's happened.
Yes,
Which means that there's going to be one more turn for Andrea, and the last turn will be Gio's. And if he's able to get down just one little bit of damage with the Wabaku, that's it. Gio will win.
Yep. So Andrea needs to hit the right target with the Fire Lake of the Burning Abyss.
Even if he'd need to... Well, that's another thing as well. If he was to now tribute for Lava Golem,
There are
won't
no
be
longer...
enough.
Exactly. So there
it
is the Lava Golem, and now Andrea needs to come up with something. He's going to respond with the Fire Lake? No.
No, he's... Oh, but because he's
he now
not a
does
Burning
have
Abyss monster,
okay.
he's cleared the field.
Wow. So Lava Golem is a 3-for-1 rather than a 2-for-1.
At the moment, yes.
And, well, the important part about the Lava Golem here is it disables the Fire Lake of the Burning Abyss. And this is very, very bad news for Andrea. So now he can no longer activate his one card that was able to take out 3 cards of his opponent. And with so many cards that Chio has that will allow him to deal damage or prevent damage, I think this is looking extremely promising for Chio.
It looks like Gio has essentially won at this point. All he needs to do is set Just Desserts, Ceasefire, or Wabaku. And Wabaku, and if he sets all of those,
yeah, he can just set 5 cards.
I mean, he doesn't even need to play anything other than Wabaku, because the Lava Golem is going to deal 1,000 damage to Andrea's life points.
So, in case you're wondering why is nothing happening, or why does it appear like nothing's happening, Andrea is still resolving the effects of the Burning Abyss monsters that were sent to the graveyard by the Lava Golem.
Of Dante and of...
And he doesn't quite know that it looks, to us at least, like the game is over, which is a very big deal. And I believe since Seer went to the graveyard, Seer effect activates, but it doesn't really matter because the Lava Golem is still there, destroying any sort of Burning Abyss that he feels to bring down. Right. So this is the hand of Andrea, which might not really matter, because he doesn't get to deal any damage with a Waboku. So he brings back the Virgil Rockstar.
Okay, and there it is. Set all 5.
Set 5 cards, go.
Okay, and I believe this is Zenari's final turn.
Yes, this should be the 4th turn. This is, at this point, this is, there is the die on the field, but
I believe it says 2.
It appears like they picked the die that is the hardest to make out.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to buy an oversized die just for coverage. I have to make a mental note or even write that down. So I'm not forgetting about it again.
For people who can't actually see us right now, he is actually writing this down. It says giant die. It's in bold.
Of course.
Okay, that's 1,000 damage. He's really thinking, what can I do right now? Because...
So, but if it were on the 2, that means that Andrea has another turn.
No, 2 is in. This is Andrea's. This is the second to last turn.
Oh,
and
they
the
are
last turn
counting
would
the
be
different
Gio.
way.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
They were counting. They're counting down there.
Okay.
Okay, he's discarding
And
Virgil. Targeting just asserts. Just returns.
That
chain.
Just asserts gets chain. Of course, it's gonna be another 1,000 damage after the lava golem just dealt another. The first blood of this last duel.
Dante is being returned to the field with Sir's effect.
So, Gio's so many weapons that he has. Normally the big problem of these burn cards is I'm not gonna deal enough damage. I might deal 5,000, but I can't get you all the way. Suddenly, when you're in sudden death or when you're close to the timeout, 1,000 might be all that it takes.
It's ridiculous. There's also now try and guess, which means that Gio
3,000
is going to be on 11,000 life points. There's a bad reaction to Smochi there as well. So,
he might even get to choose whether he wants to finish his opponent off or just...
He might actually be able to finish his opponent off this turn.
So,
without having to worry about anything.
Yeah, it might not even be decided by the timeout.
Okay, so there goes the attack.
There's going to be a Wabuku
And
now.
I believe he's taking it.
He's taking it. How is that not surprising? Are we missing something? And also the Fire Lake is live now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why doesn't he use Wabuku?
I'm not sure.
Because
did he definitely take? Yeah, he must have taken that damage.
Yeah, they both wrote down something. Life points change has not been reflected on our...
Oh, there it is.
There it is. Okay, so let's...
Unless he wants to win on his last turn. That would be the other option.
Right, maybe he's like... But you only... No. Wabuku...
Interesting.
This is Wabuku, and... Andrea is done with his turn. He signals that. And it's going to be the 3rd... They are counting down.
Yep, so that's the final turn with Gio.
Okay.
Maybe doing this in the end phase? Ceasefire. Ceasefire in the end phase.
Yep.
Which means that all he needs to do is enter. Actually, no, because if he now does Fire Lake, he'll reduce the amount of monsters.
Yes, he can chain Fire Lake.
But then he can, of course, then just chain Bad Reaction to Smochi. Well, he can chain Try and Guess, then Bad Reaction to Smochi, and then that's him winning
3,000. And another 500 from the ceasefire.
There's the Fire
Lake.
Okay. Now is he going to...
So Andrea is definitely going to target the last 3 cards.
Oh
no, he's targeting...
It is up to,
right.
So that's fine.
He also picks the Lava Golem, his own Lava Golem, which is
of course
not a bad choice, yeah.
Just to get it off the field.
All right, so question is, what would he have? I mean, it doesn't really matter what he hit because we always going to see a bad reaction to Simochi, don't we?
Pretty much.
If he hit the Wabuku, that would be really bad news. I mean,
he has hit the Wabuku. I've seen that. There's the Try and Guess. I mean, he only needs to let it. He can actually gain the life points and it still.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Fairy Wind. Fairy Wind would be a problem. Okay, that's going to destroy those cards and deal damage, but all he needs to do now is chain Bad Reaction to Samochi, and
this is a lot more interesting than we thought it would be.
The judges there actually resolving an effect before it's finished.
Yes.
So... I'm not quite sure.
Gio won. I don't
know.
What,
because
Andrea
he didn't
won?
chain the...
Why did...
He didn't chain the Bad Reaction to Samochi.
How?
Which wouldn't help because he'd chosen the effect to do it to himself. The Fairy Wind... Oh no, because then the Fairy Wind deals damage to Andrea as well.